It's not easy to find a good pair of orange sunglasses anywhere much, is my own personal lived experience. I don't remember where I got these ones. I must have picked them up somewhere. Most sunglasses are, the color that they are. What color even is that? Brown or something? I don't know. Ochre, amber, what do they call them? Gray, yellow, and orange are rare colors. Yellow, not so much a fan, but orange, yeah. Orange does something special for me with the spectrum of light, and that's not uncommon for many neurological diseases like MS, multiple sclerosis. It changes everything, obviously, that I see through these orange lenses. Everything, oh yeah, everything is much better with the lenses on. Everything is softer but clearer, if that makes sense. Sharp lines are not so sharp, but they're more distinct. This is my experience. I remember, lots of times going to shops asking about orange sunglasses, opticians, various places, and they kind of, it wasn't a thing that they were interested in doing much of, and they didn't do. So I got lucky a few times. Orange juice is good too. The first pair I properly benefited from, I got from my accountant in Poland. I don't know where he got them, but he suggested that they might be good for me, and he was right. They were really good, and I had those for certainly a year or more until they eventually went missing. So I had a lot of toing and froing, flying between countries at the time, but they were brilliant and they turned me on to them. Anytime I see them now, I'll jump on them, see if they're gonna suit me, if they're the right shade and things. I could wear these all the time, and I do a lot of the time. So yeah, wearing sunglasses, and indeed they may have been orange too, was one of the very first strong indicators that I had something going on neurologically, and nobody spotted it, which was remarkable. I was in school, I was 15, and I was having big problems with just light around me. And I countered that by wearing a pair of sunglasses just like these, orange. And I managed to get permission to wear the sunglasses all the time in school, in class and everything, which was really good. But of course, made some people not like me. And yeah, nobody flagged anything, like to say why do I need to wear those glasses. I think at that point, I tell you what, I'm glad, because at the time there was nothing that they could have done for my MS except put me on steroids, which is just damaging long term and all the rest. So I'm glad that it went much longer before it was discovered. When I was 33 it was discovered. But the orange sunglasses, you see some people wearing them, I think, for photography reasons. Am I right in saying that? Like celebrities and things, maybe they wear them, I don't know. But they're good, and they're very hard to find. Sunglasses shops seem to cater, of course, to the masses, and they just have infinite varieties of your pretty standard things that people want to wear. Few people, I think, wants to wear these kind of glasses. Maybe it's because you don't get the privacy with them. Like, you can clearly see my eyes through these glasses. I'm not trying to hide anything. Never was. Never would. So maybe that's why they don't sell so well. And people think they look stupid with them. Well, I don't care if I look stupid with them, do I? No, of course I don't. I must try and get another pair. It's the kind of thing that, buying online is, you need to see the lens. Like, you need to look through the lens and see how it actually is. A photograph is one thing. I guess they must have grades of orangeness someplace, but I don't know those grades. I don't know the grade scale of orange. Do you? Tell me if you do. What number are these ones? Look, if you look through the glasses, through the lens, you'll see more like what I see. Yep. That's more how my day looks. Less blue, more red. And I like that very much. It stops everything being so busy. Yeah, it brings the busyness down, if you get me. Yeah, it does do that. It stops things from being so domineering and loud. Calms everything down. I like fresh orange juice. You? I wish I had an orange tree. But, I mean, if I did have an orange tree, oranges grow in season, right? So I would have oranges in or at the end of the summer season. And what's happening in the rest of the year? No oranges, no orange juice. I like orange juice every day. I like the globalization part of food, connectivity, being able to access things from far parts of the world in trade. Needs to be managed properly though, so it doesn't get out of control and do damage to the world as it seems to be doing maybe. But that's another story. I can get by just fine on water. I like water. Water is my favorite drink. Yeah. So what did I start this video talking about? Oh yeah, sunglasses. Sunglasses, yes. I never spent money on sunglasses except one time in the early 2000s, late 90s. I bought a really nice pair of Gucci sunglasses. They were expensive. And I had those for several years, many years. I had those 3, 4, maybe even 5 years. I held on to those ones. So on a cost per wear basis, they were pretty good value. I rate things and value things on the cost per wear. You know, how often I'm going to use this item. If it's $100 and I'll use it 50 times, it's $2 a time. If it's $100 and I'm going to use it 3 times, it's $33 a time. So look at things like that. So I got a lot of use out of those glasses for sure. They were nice. They were metal weighted, kind of, not aviator, definitely not. I don't like aviators. Like who? I don't know who. Like Mike Deegan, like me. Yeah, like my glasses. Polarized, with the shiny, the petrol outside finish on the lens. I don't like those ones either. I remember seeing a Irish celebrity at one time in a place, and it was a quiet place, and she was singing on the far side of the room from me, and she was wearing the biggest sunglasses I had seen, really, which only, despite her trying to go incognito, only drew more attention to her and became pretty apparent who it was once you had a second glance. So that was a bit of a fail on her part. Sunglasses. I think many people use them, don't they? I think so. Wasn't it the Inuits who maybe made the first ones with shells, or was that even Southern African peoples way back then? Managing the sun in our eyes. Yeah, it's useful to be able to do it if you can't just turn your back. I would like a pair of novelty sunglasses with orange lenses, which are mini little Venetian blinds going down a little string I can pull, open, close, open, close. I'm sure they exist, right? I mean, they must exist. Somebody's made them someplace for whatever price they decide to put on it. It's a little crafty thing though, isn't it? I like it. I like weird things like that. Eccentric things. I'm going to go and walk to the shops soon. Maybe. It's been a very hot day again, although it's much cooler today. And now that I think about it, actually I'm not going to walk to the shops. I'm happy to stay here in the garden. I'll do some qigong exercises. I don't look tired, but I'm very tired. People say to me, Mike, would you not go to bed for a while, have a rest? It's not that kind of tired. Multiple sclerosis, it's a different kind of fatigue. The first time, I'll tell you this is a funny story before I go, but I'm not going to go to the shops. I quit television more than a decade ago, and the final, I knew that I would eventually, for many years, I knew that I would eventually quit television, that it was a noose around my neck like everyone else's. But it finally came about one day. I was paralyzed at the time with my MS. I couldn't move, and I was positioned in front of the television with the remote control beside me, and some crap came on the TV, and I just had to turn it off or change channel. And the remote control was from here to there. It was so close. It was this distance away from me, and I was unable to get it. Sitting here wide awake, looking at the remote control, looking at the television, and hearing the television going, being driven crazy by it, wanting to turn it off, and I couldn't reach. Pick it up, press the button. That's fatigue. Mentally, wide awake. I am wide awake. Let's have a chat. But don't ask me to move a muscle. Begun from sunglasses to that. So, sunglasses. The solar eclipse just passed, and from an eclipse many years ago, I have an A4 sheet of stuff that you make the solar viewing sunglasses out of. Yeah, I have a rectangle sheet of that stuff. You can look through it at the sun. You make probably 20 pairs of sunglasses out of it. You cut them out like lenses, and you could do that with them. Pity I didn't, because as the eclipse day came upon us, do you think I could find that solar viewing sheet? No, I could not. So we had to make do with reflections in bowls of water. But it was not something I wanted to look at myself anyway, because it was the experience that I was into for that eclipse. Just the experience of the sun being disappeared and waking up again. Nature all around, everything. It's a new light since it's happened. It refreshed. It was a cleanser. Yeah, solar eclipses and sunglasses. Generation X, the book by Douglas Coupland, will tell you the sun is your enemy. The sun is your enemy. You know that the main reason we get old is because of oxidation. If we didn't breathe all that oxygen that we do over our lives, our bodies wouldn't get so decrepit and sick and weak. Weakness is the thing that gets you in the end. I got weak early on. I got weak at 33. Yeah. I know weak. And then I came back. I got strong again. And just like the fatigue isn't a mental fatigue, getting strong happened mentally. It was via mental means that I got strong again. Anybody can do it, unless you've got some kind of brain injury. Like I did have a brain injury, but that's beside the point. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Thanks. See you later.